risk opens up at that point.
But I think that they sell it as helping you and your neighbors have your devices better connected. So correct me if I'm wrong, Patrick, but the way I was reading it, they're selling it as so like they develop this low bandwidth sort of access like around your home and around your community. So like everything connected from cameras to other devices that you and your neighbors have, they become more connected. You know, even supposedly even if someone's internet goes down or whatever, I don't know. But you're basically sharing part of your internet to create this network that in essence Amazon is controlling and making money off of. So you're paying for Amazon essentially to make money. I think that's the bottom line. And if you're wondering, it's like what makes it even more egregious is that you're automatically opted in unless you intentionally opt out. So I went on today, and sure enough, in my Amazon app,
enemy UAV overhead.
It was turned to on. They're fully rolling it out, I think, June 8th. So if you want to opt out, you need to go into your Alexa app. And well, Google it online. It was obviously a couple of layers down, of course. You had to find it. It was like Alexa app, settings, and then account settings, and more settings, until you find Amazon, sidewalks or something. And then you just switch it off.
Can you uninstall Alexa from your phone to disable that feature?
You can uninstall Alexa, but you basically give up then
if you have Alexa on your phone, it's not like an Amazon phone, Google phone.
No, but it means that your connected apps won't work right.
Sorry, dude.
If you don't have the app, you can't program your connected devices, so you can't fully use your connected devices if you don't have the Alexa app. So right now, like, if you have, maybe it's not a big deal if you just have like Echo or, something like that, but if you have your lights and stuff like that through Amazon, the only way that they'll work is if you have the Amazon app. So for a lot of people, not having the app is not going to be an option. Otherwise, it's not worth having the Amazon device.
Get up, I dare you!
Enemy at the market containers.
Enemy cluster strike incoming. Take cover. Enemy counter UAV online.
Enemy in the back alley.
Enemy cluster strike incoming. Enemy care package inbound.
Enemy in the center.
But I'm wondering if at some point there's going to be a class action suit, because it does feel like there's always been debates about privacy and stuff like that, but for a company to use part of your bandwidth, maybe they can get away with it. Companies all the time send occasional emails with like 50 pages of, updated terms and conditions that you know,
Bastard.
no one reads, and I guess they can claim they notified people, and technically, you know, people consented by not opting out. I don't know, but I mean, it just seems.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to, on your own device, you shouldn't be forced to opt out of something that you never opted in.
Enemy UAV
And
overhead.
here's
know,
the.
You shouldn't be forced to. And, you know, what kind of protection are they guaranteeing since they're automatically giving someone access to your network, to your internet service?
Enemy at the cargo container.
And here's the kicker. So I noticed when I went to turn off the thing in my Alexa app. So one of the selling points is, like, for instance, they claim, like, if you have multiple devices in your house, it helps secure this bridge so that the devices more seamlessly connect and communicate. And, like, if you have a power outage, you know, I guess reconnect automatically to the internet. But here's the kicker. When I went into the app to turn it off, there was this note that said just because you turn it off doesn't mean that you won't have a bridge. So I don't know how, you know, so it's like, well, which is it? You know, is it to create this bridge to help things work more carefully together? And if it is, why is there this statement, this small print saying this doesn't impact, you know, opting out won't, you know, impact you having a bridge across the
Now, if my question is now, if you have Amazon, if you have the Amazon app for ordering, like the Amazon store, Amazon shopping app, does that app also have that? And now am I now having to remove my Amazon app, which then puts Amazon in a new light in order for me, because, you know, you kind of got to think, well, you know, if you're an avid Amazon user, who do you switch to? You know, you do all of your shopping and carrying on with Amazon, you know, and now they want to invade your privacy and basically hang you out to dry as a security risk, in my opinion. Then, you know, what ramifications and what precedents are we setting? I mean, it's crazy.
Ah, we lost again, but there was only 3 of us left. And I was rolling with my shotgun.
The whole time.
And I was rolling with my shotgun.
I was rolling with my shotgun too. I really need some rifle kills. I need to switch over, is what I should do though. You know, I'm very upset that Amazon is doing that. And does that also mean that if you have Audible, any Amazon app, is this on for any Amazon app?
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. And the only way, you know, I found out was Patches pointed me to an article, not even from Amazon, talking about it. And
It's ARS Technica is who I got it from.
And
Amazon Sidewalk, bitches.
I mean, the article just talks about turning it off in a Alexa app. That's a good question.
It says open the
other...
Alexa app, go to settings, open more and settings, and then account settings, Amazon Sidewalk off. You know, honestly, it sucks that, like, in other countries, they're not permitted to do this shit. But here in America, big businesses own and pay for the right to screw Americans over. And you know who they're paying, you know? Paying the hush-hush money to keep it quiet. You know, America's the guinea pig for a lot. Things going on here.
First hard point identified. Move.
Behind you, behind you, behind you. Oh, he just ran across. That's hard to keep moving, huh? Hey.
Hard point contested.
HB5.
Hard point.
Still hard point.
I didn't do anything.
Oh shit. Oh, coming away.
Hard point contested. Hard point lost. Take the hard point. 10 seconds.
I got something for you, buddy.
Okay, get to the hard point. Movement here.
Oh, get away from me!
Location secured.
I stuck it, and then he's like, get away from me!
Reloading.
On the hard. So HB5 and both the hard point is wherever the hard point is. Basically, you win based on the team who's held the hard point longest throughout the game. So it's not about the
They got me, the bastards. Boom, bitches.
Reloading.
Got it. Got the hard point.
Shit, contact.
Ah, just don't see. I mean, on the hard point.
Hard point secure. Location secured. Hard point contested. We've got the hard point. Stand by to move.
Are we playing anybody anymore?
yeah, I'm shooting them. I'm shooting them.
Okay, it's like 4 people.
The enemy took the hard point.
You know, some of these games they don't even want to kill people and they don't care about winning.
Hard point contested. Enemy taking the hard point. Taking the hard point.
That's behind it. Yeah.
The enemy took the hard point.
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
Taking the hard point.
Sorry.
Shit, HB.
UAV entering the AO. Hard point secure. Be advised, UAV is being RTB for Get ready, we're about to move. Enemy's taking the hard point.
Oh shit.
Enemy at the cargo container.
Forgot. Enemy at the cargo containers.
Which one?
Yeah.
Got movement here.
Bastard.
We've taken the hard point. Taking the hard point. Hard point contested. Enemy's taking the hard point.
Enemy at the center.
Got a UAV on station.
You bet.
Hard point.
Oh shit.
Enemy's taking the hard point. Hard point secure. Enemy
Oh, thank God.
Enemy at the
Enemy took the hard point. Location secured. 10 seconds. Get ready for
Nasty.
hard point. Let's go.
Have you been trying to get the hard point anymore?
Not anymore. I don't think we like Just keeping them off is good enough.
UAV overhead. We're winning this time. Hold back. Hard point lost.
UAV is bingo. RTB for resupply.
Hard point secure.
Really?
Hard point lost.
enemy at the dumpster.
Hard point lost. Got the hard point.
No. Oh.
We've taken the hard point.
Enemy on the forklift.
The enemy took the hard point. Okay, took the hard point. Missile away. We've got a UAV on station. Hard point. The enemy took the hard point. Close up, look your arm.
UAV entering the AO.
We've taken the hard point.
Enemy at the forklift. Enemy at the dumpster.
Be advised, UAV is bingo.
Stand by for reload. Hard point contested.
Oh, you bastard. You bastard.
Forklift.
Hard point, let's go.
Eh.
Hard point secure.
Oh, there's two of them.
Enemy cluster strike incoming. Take cover.
Really?
Woo!
Let's go, baby. Let's go. HB, you came up and passed me. Go, girl.
Look at that!
There you go.
I was on the road. After I realized there was no way they were gonna catch up, I started rolling around just
I'm just killing them. I'm just gonna kill these moons. Boy, I missed the heck out of shooting. I'm shooting. I'll be right back.
So yeah, HB5 fans. You know, it just feels like more should be done to get companies to have to more aggressively notify customers of, you know, changes. I mean, I think I get more notices about like emails from companies on frankly fairly minor changes to terms and conditions of different things than I do you know, about new features or something that, you know, may seriously impact, you know, your privacy or security. And I point that out because it just seems like if this sidewalks thing was so great, why, I mean, you would think that Amazon would be blasting it everywhere. I shouldn't have found out. I mean, heck, I mean, we have all these connected devices now in many of our homes. You'd think that, you know, it would be on all my Alexas telling me, hey, look at, be aware of this great new feature, you know, coming up. But it just seems even more suspicious the game starting that, you know, they're not even seemingly advertising this new feature, which makes it, you know, even more questionable in
Capture
my
and defend the
mind.
forward operating position. We're taking Alpha.
The game started.
We've captured Alpha. We've pulled ahead.
Patches is literally gagging. Ah! Come on! This is domination! Time is of the essence!
Hostiles taking Bravo. Hostiles at Alpha, go. We're on Charlie, stand by. Losing Bravo. We've lost Alpha. Charlie secure. You're needed a
Hang on.
Ah! Come on! We're gonna lose!
We've lost Bravo. We're on Alpha, stand by.
And you remember, this game kicks people out faster than the other game for inaction.
Captured Alpha. Hostiles are taking Alpha. You're needed at Charlie. We've taken control.
Keep going.
We've lost C. Securing B.
Boom, bitch. 'Cause that's how I roll, homie.
What are you booming for? Because we're losing and they still have B and C.
Enemy at the standing down.
Securing Bravo. You're needed at A. Enemy holds 2 objectives. Take them back.
Get the fuck.
Flash out! Target down!
Launching the rocket, running low.
Securing Bravo. We're holding Bravo.
Target.
Enemy at the standing.
I left a nice little treat on B. Jeez. Ah, you got me.
Enemy at the cargo container.
Hostiles at Bravo.
Boom. Yeah, gotcha.
You're needed at Bravo. We've lost Bravo.
Hostile down.
sorry. Oh,
We
damn.
start shooting
I
at
thought
each
you was
other.
the
I
enemy.
thought you were too. Ah,
That's a
this
kill.
guy keeps slicing me.
Securing Bravo.
Target down.
Assist your team at Alpha. We're taking Bravo. Enemy holds 2 objectives. Need backup at Alpha.
Faster. Knifer, knifer.
Patches.
Faster. Yeah.
We're losing.
Enemy in the junkyard.
You lose,
Oh.
asshole.
Popping smoke.
We're taking Bravo. Got Bravo. You're needed at A. You're needed at Bravo. Hostiles have Alpha.
Oh
Charlie, stand
no.
by.
Oh, they got me on B.
Need backup at Bravo. Charlie secure. Securing Alpha.
Popping smoke.
Assist your team at B. We hold all the objectives. You're needed at
Trophy
Bravo.
system deployed.
Losing Charlie.
Sorry.
We've lost C. Hostiles are taking Bravo.
Yeah, bitches. Popcorn love.
Hostiles are taking Bravo. Lost Bravo.
Enemy in the center.
We're on Bravo. Stand by.
Ah, he sliced me.
Got him.
Target down.
We're on Bravo. Stand by. Enemy hold 2 objectives. Take them back. Securing Bravo. You're needed at
Ah, the scary slicing guy got me. He came out
Come
of
on.
nowhere.
I just got
Hostiles
B,
have
man.
Alpha. Assist your team at Bravo. Securing C. We're holding Charlie. You're needed at C. Securing Alpha.
Enemy in the position.
Grenade out.
Oh, back up, back up. Ugh.
Hostiles are taking Charlie.
Ah, the slicer man got me again.
Losing B. Enemy UAV overhead. Bravo. We're taking Alpha. Hostiles at Charlie, go. Enemy cluster strike incoming. We're holding Alpha. We've lost B. Securing Bravo.
Ah, it's right there laying down by B, yeah? There you go.
Team at A.
Ah, shitheads behind the red pipe.
Reloading.
Securing C.
Popping smoke.
Hostiles at Alpha, go. Enemy holds 2 objectives. We're on Bravo.
Come on, we
Stand
catching
by.
up. We need to get B or A. Keep A, one of the two.
They blew me up already.
Come on in.
Assist your team at A.
Catching it.
Securing B.
Get up, I dare
We've
you.
lost
Grenade
Alpha.
out.
Got Bravo.
He's at C. Come on.
We've lost Charlie.
Man.
You're needed
Off
at B.
there, boy.
Securing Alpha. We captured Alpha. Losing Bravo. on station. You're needed at
Oh,
Bravo.
come on, this guy.
Hostiles at Alpha, go.
Frag out!
Thermite out! Got him!
Essential team at Bravo. Charlie, stand by. We're holding 2, we have the advantage. We've got a UAV on station. You're needed at Bravo. We've got a sentry gun on station. We hold all the objectives. Assist your team at
Wait,
B.
how they take B? I shouldn't look like they still
Got the
ain't.
sentry
I
here.
didn't know they still trying to take Bravo. Come on, this sniper on B, yo.
Losing A. We've lost Bravo. We've lost Charlie.
Come on, we catching. We finally catching up.
Sentry guns down. We're taking Bravo.
Target down! Grenade out!
Enemy in the back alley.
Securing Bravo.
Trophy systems up.
Oh, I need help. On B, on B.
Get up!
Ah, you
They've got
bastard.
2 objectives. Keep hitting them.
Going smoke!
Need backup at Alpha.
Changing max.
Popping smoke!
Come on, man.
This guy.
Okay, actual, send
Enemy in
recon!
center.
UAV entering the AO.
Losing A.
Oh.
Securing Bravo.
Oh, they got me on B. 2 of them.
Enemy at the cargo container.
Go to the rocket!
Signal lost. UAV down.
Popping smoke!
We're falling behind. Regroup. We're taking Bravo.
Frag out!
Oh, they got me on B. Come on.
Alpha. Securing B.
Ah.
Enemy UAV overhead. We're on Charlie. Stand by. Get those positions. We need eliminate. We're on Bravo. Stand by. Securing Alpha. Charlie secure.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're gonna put it in work. Look at this sniper. Oh, he was taking me off strong. Look at this. Look at the 2. Uh-oh. Bloodthirsty. Uh-oh. He was kicking back rocks, so.
If only you had gotten on earlier.
No, she did.
Yes, I did. So, HB5. So this is what I was telling HB5 fans, Patches. I was saying that if this whole thing that Amazon is announcing is such a good deal and great for everyone, why is it that it isn't like announced everywhere? I don't hear you. You're not on
Why
the
is it what?
So I was saying, you know, if this is such the way Amazon describes it, such a great thing for everyone, why, like for instance, why did I have to find out through an article you found, as opposed to Amazon announcing it and making a big deal about
on
it?
television.
Yeah, you know, you would think, you know, if it's such a great
it's
thing
gonna
for
hush,
everyone,
hush.
that,
Hush.
you know, they would be announced. Heck, you know, send a notice out, you know, through Alexas across, you know, the nation.
Planet.
They just don't want people to find out so that they opt out of it. That's my theory.
Yeah. No.
Flash out!
No prisoners. Shoot to kill. Kill
Changing
confirmed.
mag.
Overhead.
Oh, he's up on top of her.
Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed. Got a UAV on station. Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed.
Reloading.
Kill confirmed.
Flash out.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Sorry.
Kill confirmed.
Ran out of bullets, baby.
Changing mag.
UAV overhead.
Contact.
UAV overhead.
Okay.
Halfway there.
Calm my down. Target down.
Kill confirmed.
Target down.
Oh, come on. Nice shot, asshole. Oh, suck. Pretty lethal, baby.
Kill confirmed.
Loading.
Changing mag.
Ah, there's a couple of them over there. There's like 2 or 3 of them.
Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed.
Stay tight.
Enemy in the
UAV overhead.
Send recon.
UAV entering the AO.
Bitch.
Follow the house.
Inbound.
Yeah, baby, let's go. Oh, girl, on the road.
Be
Stop,
advised,
baby,
UAV
let's go.
will be resupply.
Kill confirmed.
Enemy at the cargo
Kill
container.
confirmed. Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy precision airstrike. Russia.
Middle, yeah. let's go, boom.
Grenade out!
Master, boom.
Frag out!
Kill confirmed.
Victory. And it's a wrap.
That's what I'm talking about, HB5.
Come on,
thing.
Patches.
That's how we roll.
Hey, Cobra.
Look at me, look at me. Final
Hey, oh,
kill,
headshot,
final
headshot,
kill. Down for the count. Down for the count.
Oh.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Look at my score. Look at my score, people.
Show it off.
And hell, it is that way.
See now.
See now.
It's very exciting. You don't have time to think, you don't have time to like just hang out. You just gotta keep moving and shooting. Moving and shooting. Right, Seven? Moving and shooting, right, Seven? Seven? So,
Here they come. Attack!
Team Deathmatch. Seven, I am busy playing.
Enemy in the back.
We have taken the
one's
lead.
Oh, come on.
You're losing control.
Losing control.
We have taken control.
Got him. He coming back though.
Got you, asshole.
Tossing stun!
And that's the other thing this whole war is that they took away the
Enemy
ability
contact at the courtyard.
to open and close doors.
Ah, nice kill. Ugh.
Reloading!
UAV is ready for flyover.
Enemy near Main Street.
Actual, request recon flyover.
Enemy in the
Marking
cargo
fuel.
container.
Good copy. UAV beginning flyover.
Stun! Grenade out!
Right down that
One down.
corner. Yep. I got got your back. You got my back.
I got
I got your
somebody.
back.
He is out of fuel. Returning to resupply. UAV is ready for flyover.
Enemy at the shanty town.
Reloading. Actual. Request recon flyover.
This is Falcon Fuel. Look up.
Enemy at the
UAV
junkyard.
beginning flyover.
Good shot.
Movement.
Enemy at the shanty town.
UAV is out of fuel. Returning to resupply.
Frag out.
You.
Enemy near Main Street.
Got a sentry gun on station.
Ah, they got me.
Enemy at the shanty town.
Oh shit, he's right there, dude.
Got
Nice
that.
kill.
Grenade out.
Leave me up.
Right behind you.
Enemy at the junkyard.
Enemy mark.
Enemy at the shanty town.
Oh, he got me. That shot way too soon. I'm looking for you.
Sentry guns down.
Oh shit, they got me. Here it comes.
Target.
We're halfway there. Keep going.
Throwing smoke. Flash out.
Ah, bastard. Yeah, let's go. Ah, you bastard.
Got him.
Enemy at the courtyard.
One down.
Enemy at the shanty town.
Boom, bitch. Oh, that's how I fucking roll, dude. Two of them.
Got three.
UAV is ready for flyover.
Wow.
Enemy near Main Street.
Sorry, dude.
Ah!
Send that recon.
This is Falcon Fuel. Look up. UAV beginning flyover.
Enemy at the courtyard.
Enemies.
I got him. After 3 shots. Crazy.
Target down.
Returning to resupply.
Enemy at the courtyard.
I'm out. Reloading.
Enemy at the courtyard.
Enemy marked. Enemy movement.
Ah, they got me! Ah!
Got him.
Enemy marked.
Allied precision airstrike incoming. Be aware.
Get to know me.
1 minute remaining.
Hey, what?
Going. The day is almost finished.
Enemy at the cargo containers.
Reloading.
Got you, asshole.
Oh, come on!
Enemy at the
Enemy
backyard.
UAV overhead. 30 seconds.
Die.
We are out of time. Move.
Enemy at the cargo containers.
There you go. Got you.
Enemy UAV overhead.
They come. Woo!
Hey, yeah, baby.
Woo!
Handle
That's
yourself
what I'm
well.
talking
Report to
about.
brief.
That's what I'm talking about. HB5.
All I know is that other governments, they tend to censor a lot of stuff. And I'm not saying that our government should censor a lot of stuff in the same which way that they do. But we also know that a lot of governments, they tend to not, well, here's the thing. We just need to do better, be better. And big businesses, they get a lot of money in their pockets. They want to do better, be better. But they also feel like they don't have to respect other people, which is that's a disappointing.
So we going into Cold War?
Alright, let's do it.
Alright, I'm gonna do break time in case there's any more technical difficulties as we transfer. We'll be right back, folks.
Cut.
HB5 fans, we're back. And we're in Cold War now. And we attempted again to do what Call of Duty creators say should be a seamless thing to, you know, take your team or your party across the different games. You know, you in theory should be able to move between Modern Warfare, Cold War, and Warzone, taking your party, and we attempted to do that, and yet again it did not work. You know, as soon as Patches attempted it, I got, you know, you are a party leader, basically indicating I got kicked from her party, and so we had to rejoin in Cold War. You know, don't announce or push out features if they're not going to work right. I'm just saying. Or it could be, as Patches sometimes calls, user error. Patches. No comment?
No, no comment. It's the only game I buy. They gotta do it right. Which they fucking up because I don't got black people in this game.
Hardcore kill confirmed.
I went and bought some boots from a country western store recently. And was treated as a black American citizen shopping in a country western store owned by Chinese people. And I can tell you my experience felt like I was back in 1949. Somebody treating me like I shouldn't be in their store because I can't afford to shop there. In Fairfax is where it is. It's Fairfax.
Patches.
Yep,
You're getting very specific.
Did some traveling and yeah. That's how they are. That's how they were anyway. Bastards.
See, I think that, you know, it's today there's the two extremes. Like, everything's extreme today. It's like, you know, you either are you're expected to either be in the camp that believes that racism is everywhere, under every rock, and in everyone and throughout everything, or, oh, racism doesn't exist anymore, you know, everything's grand and all this and that. And the reality of it is that, you know, everything is, and if you don't, if you believe one, you can't believe the other. If you believe that everything is great in society, you can't believe that there's some amount of racism. And if you believe that there's some amount of racism, you can't believe that there's still good things. And there's not racism everywhere. And to me, you know, obviously, I believe racism is alive and well. But
Gas station.
I also believe that you're not going to fight racism by
Gas
saying,
station. Market.
you know, everything and everyone is racist. And you're definitely not going to fight racism if we can't have real and honest conversations about race. I'd rather someone...
Bastard. Gas stations, 2 of them.
I'd rather someone be honest with me to my face rather than find out through actions or deeds later, you know, what their true feelings are. And unless someone, you know, expresses their true beliefs, you can never address it. You know, you can never have honest conversations about race. You can never, you know, talk through why, you know, someone perhaps views someone of a different race in a certain way, you know, to talk through it. You know, you hear about these crazy but true stories of situations like back in the, you know, decades ago, like the one African American man that actually befriended a Klansman and wound up changing the Klansman's life and getting him out of the Klan. And there's also, you know, internal racism. You know, I've experienced racism from other African Americans, sadly, because, I mean, you know, unfortunately people in our own community, you know, also, you know, maybe it's internalized racism, but, you know, I've been in stores where, you know, the black people working there are just as bad as a lot of white people, you know, with regards to making assumptions about black shoppers. But, you know, we don't talk about that.
Well, the sad part is I spent a lot of money in their store, and then, you know, if I had my brain on straight, I would have never purchased from their store just because of the way they initially treated me. You know, and then when I left their store, you know, and having to return back to their store, come back inside, and be treated disgustingly, it was pretty disgusting.
And the crazy thing about it is they lost money because, you know, Patches went back to return one item and she wasn't even looking initially for her money back. She was, you know, they weren't fitting right, and she was actually looking for an exchange. I mean, a good salesperson would have given her an exchange and probably even tried to sell her something that was even more expensive than what she originally paid for to get more money out of her. But I mean, so it's crazy because at the end of the day, they wound up hurting themselves with their treatment. And, you know, any good salesperson actually will know, you know, that, you know, when someone comes back in, or, you know, that's an opportunity to actually sell them more stuff. But they just seem to have their mindset that, you know, despite having spent a lot of money, not just what, you know, was being returned in the store, that, you know, they just had this viewpoint. I mean, I remember, and I'm still traumatized by it, even though it was decades ago, in a store in, I think it was Chicago, and it was actually an older African American woman. I went to some department store to, you know, I think we might have been going out or something, and I think I was just buying a shirt or pants or something like that, you know, not a lot of stuff, and pulled out, you know, a credit card to pay. And I remember, to this day, this was like decades ago, I remember this woman looking at the card, looking at me, looking at the card, looking at me, and then asking me for my driver's license. and she still was reluctant. I mean, like, it's it can be traumatizing, but my point is that we don't deal with racism by sweeping it under the rug in the sense of, frankly, I'll say it, a lot of this politically correct language today that to me is fairly superficial. It's fairly superficial because, what I think it ultimately does is try to get people to say what's not on their minds. And when you don't know what's on people's minds, then you're never going to address the underlying issue. And so, I get...
I honestly, in my opinion, if you were a different color or a different ethnicity and you hate on another color or ethnicity or group of people and you just genuinely don't like them, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that, you can like and dislike who you want to, and if you don't want someone shopping in your store, then they should not be shopping in your store.
Well, that would be illegal.
I mean, personally, yeah, it would be illegal, but, personally, I want to know you don't want me shopping in your store. I would have loved to know that I'm not wanted than to try and come in with the thought that, yeah, I am wanted to shop here and then find out differently and get all the shit attitude.
Well, but that goes back to segregation. That's what segregation
It
is
saves
about.
me
This isn't working.
it saves me from dealing with shit attitude.
Well, I mean, I don't think I don't want to go back to segregation. Because what happens with segregation, and that's, what segregation was. People had a right to say, I only want white people in here, or only want black people. And the problem with segregation is that once society knows, okay, this is where black people are congregating, and this is where white people are congregating, all the resources then are put in the white areas, and none of the resources are put in the black areas. It's easier
Which is technically what they're doing already, unfortunately. Maybe not to the extent that it was when, you had white and black segregated schools and stores and living space. But, today it's kind of like, if you are not welcome,
Enemy spy plane inbound.
it's probably time to be like a new learned pattern, a new learned behavior.
Well, I mean,
Oh, that shit. Response flip.
See, this is my, I think, it's, bottom line is I think people try to today overly simplify race and racism when it's not a simple issue. And to me, if there's any sort of hope of really addressing racism, I think it's honest conversations. And, some lawsuits and, and stuff like that. When people violate the law.
You know how it feels to go in a store and just everybody tries to act as though you're gonna steal something? I mean, a whole white family was in there, honestly, and these Asians sat behind the desk. You didn't even see a third person. There was only one person helping, and everyone else was in the back, kind of talking and stuff. And you come in the store, one person comes out to help you, and that's great. But then another person comes out to watch you, and that sucks. Because you know what? There's no need for me to steal from your store, and there's no need to treat me like a thief like that.
Well, it's interesting
But,
because
you know,
years ago,
that's the way it went down.
years ago, it was interesting because I would say about a decade or so ago, CVS was doing, I think, well, I don't know their financials, but they seem to be doing a lot better than Rite Aid. And I remember, like, you know, I liked going to CVS over Rite Aid for a variety of reasons at the time. And again, this was like maybe 10 or 15 years ago. For a variety of reasons. One was the fact that usually when you went into a Rite Aid, they usually had a security guard that tended to follow people around the store. And I'm sure CVS had very strong security too, but it wasn't visible. It was very rare that you felt like someone was literally following you around the store. And Rite Aid, you know, so like when you went into, I'm sure Rite Aid lost a lot of money, you know, just
Before
by
the pandemic,
virtue of that
I didn't
alone.
know that racism was as broad as it was, Joe.
Before the pandemic.
I didn't know, like to hear that black people or Africans were being pushed out of China. That was very upsetting. Like, not allowed to shop, and I had no idea. And so, like, when I look at all the people I know here in the U.S., and I look back at their relationship with me, and how they would, like, one time I was in with a good friend of mine, I thought. There was an elevator with...
Patches? Can we sidebar for a minute here?
Yeah.
Deathmatch.
Hey, HB5
The fate of a free
fans.
world is in your hands.
So, I guess the bottom line is, you know, racism exists. It is interesting because, you know,
Left side, green building.
what bothers me is when people sort of, you know, pick out the United States as if the United States is like the only nation that has slavery. I mean, it bothers me because, you know, I've traveled abroad, and, you know, I know people who have done a lot more traveling abroad than I have, and you know, I know everyone's experiences are different, but it's interesting because I remember, you know, like when I went to Europe, for example, you know, I got this sense of racism. And, you know, I was talking to someone, you know, who had been living over there who's African American. And, you know, she wasn't over there for a long time, but, you know, she's like, no, French are more nationalists, you know, there is some racism, but it's, you know,
Right
blah,
side,
blah,
yellow
blah.
fridge.
And then she had this experience after I left that really changed her mind. And, you know, what I saw was, it just seemed like, you know, they might not call it racism, but it just felt like, you know, black people were treated differently. I think that they thought that there wasn't racism because there was a lot of interracial couples, but it kind of felt like there were too many interracial couples, meaning like it was almost like it was expected, and I'm not saying this is how it is, for a black person to be with a white person, as if there's something wrong with two black people being together. You know, I remember going to parts of Spain where, you know, where literally me and a couple other people were the only black people. And, you know, wherever we went, people were just staring at us. And so, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's no racism there because there's no black people in the area that we went. But, you know, you look at history, yes, you know, America has a long history of slavery and racism, but, you know, so does nearly every other country. And, you know, I don't get the impression that race and racism is discussed as openly as it is in the U.S. in some of these other countries to get at those issues.
Hostile strafe run inbound.
Oh man, I was right behind you. You didn't die, did you?
Yeah, I died.
From that launcher? Damn. Right side, left side, left side. Oh, green.
Enemy spy plane inbound.
Really?
Oh,
come on.
no. We were doing all this talking and not focusing. How do we lose by that much? Patches.
I feel like I was having a pretty good game.
I got
Not
the top
one for
score.
one, but you know, I ain't go 1 for 1, but you know. That's probably a problem. 23, 13 to 23.
I think one more game for me, and I need to straighten up. But it's been a deep conversation. Well, 7 doesn't understand, because 7 is black and white. So HB5 fans, doesn't matter if it's black or white. So my personal philosophy is that people should take people as they are. You know, if you have preconceived notions about someone, you know, you should, you know, probably ask yourself why. You know, maybe it's how you were raised, maybe it's from personal experiences, maybe, you know, but try to get to the root of it, because at the end of the day, I mean, you know, you should take people as they come. You know, you should, as Dr. King said, judge people by the content of their character, rather than, you know, their skin color. And, you know, it's, you know, it's something that we need to be conscious of. You know, I think in all of us, you know, just by virtue of living in this world and society, probably have,
Hardcore team
you know,
deathmatch.
preconceived notions
Training
about
time's
people. I
over.
think that there's
Let's see
been
what you can do.
studies that, you know, within, you know, the first, you know, few seconds of encountering someone,
We're in the lead.
you know, our mind, sometimes without us even being aware of it, formulates certain opinions or thoughts or reactions, you know, based on a lot of factors, not just race, but, you know, gender,
We've taken the lead.
you know, how someone's dressed,
We're losing this
you
fight.
know, hair color, and that sort of thing. And so,
We're in the lead.
you know, just being cognizant of that, you know, can, I think, go a long way
We've fallen
in
behind.
making the world a better place.
Pulling ahead. Hostile counter spy plane established above. Hostile spy plane established overhead.
Spy plane standing by.
Oh, come on.
Spy plane commencing surveillance overflight.
Oh, come on.
Spy plane time about 50%.
Napalm strike.
Enemy spy plane inbound. expired. Spy plane exiting the AO.
Scorcher 4-2 above. Flying your vector.
Oh shit.
Scorcher 4.
Almost there. Hold fast, people. Enemy napalm strike incoming. Enemy spy plane inbound. Enemy RCXD detected.
Oh, flip.
Great job, CIA.
Alright,
Boss no
HB5
fuss.
fans.
Hostile forces eliminated.
We're done. I hope you enjoyed the gaming this evening. Or morning or night, depending on your time zone. It's HB5 and Patrick Kennedy. Signing
Deuces, baby.
off.
Deuces. Bye.